of names loaded up from the comment section over here. So we're just gonna give this thing a spin, and that's gonna be our winner. And congratulations, Justin is the winner. So I will reach out to you, Justin, and give me the information to send the t-shirt and give me size, color, and all that stuff. And again, congratulations. Good morning and welcome back to Boisterous Cock Farmstead. I wanted to come out today and show how well the areas of the pasture that I haven't actually tried to grow any grass are doing right now. And they are just doing it on annual rainfall, which we've gotten a good amount of this year. And normally when we get a good amount of rainfall, it's just the tumbleweeds and the amaranth that come up, which are just native vegetation. But this year, I don't know if it's just because of having really good summer rains earlier than usual, because we got them in mid-June, starting in mid-June and kind of pretty even through July. And now it's the first week of August, and I've noticed that mixed in with the amaranth is actually a majority grasses. Now, we did have a pretty good summer last summer, though it wasn't crazy wet. It was consistent, and we had a decent amount of grass, and I wasn't 100% sure if that was just from the water that we got, or if it was because in previous years prior to us buying this property, the owners had lots of livestock on here. They had a bunch of horses, and the horses were basically starving to death. They also had alpacas that were on here, and they were starving to death. And so they pretty much ate everything down to the nub. So all grasses and everything were eaten up. Even the mesquite trees, like one you see behind me, they were munched down to almost nothing. And so those were not promoting growth. And so the last few years that I've had all the pigs out on pasture, I don't know if them breaking up the soil cap is part of it, or if just everything kind of just works together, which I hope that's what it is that just implementing good practices over time will reverse the problems that a lot of land in this area are experiencing. And then on top of that, we've got the pasture that I've seeded and that I've been watering, although I've shut the water off because we've been getting consistent rain. Wanted to save on electricity for that. So in this paddock here, I've got the 3 bores, and they're on about 4.5 acres roughly in a big L-shaped paddock. And then inside of that paddock, or connected to that paddock, I've got a roughly 2 acre pasture that I've got 14 pigs on right now. And I do let them out onto the grass once a day, onto the area that I've been watering. But even with having 14 pigs on it, this particular spot, I don't know if you can see that in the background, this part of the pasture here is actually growing the grass really well, and so part of that management that I was talking about is to keep them from overeating or overgrazing this little 2-acre piece. In 4 weeks, I'm taking at least 1 pig to the butcher, and so I'll stop isolating those market pigs. I'll put whichever, if I only sell one, I'll put the other one that's in the market pigs area over with the main herd, and I'm going to move the whole main herd over here most likely, and then I'll put the boys back over into that far paddock, which is generally it's their winter paddock anyway, but it's also when I'm using or when I'm finishing off for market, that's where I move everybody. So, and the reason I put them over there is that paddock and this center paddock are both tied. They both open up to that watered pasture. So now that this is actually established well enough and I've got enough growth started, I can bring those girls in 4 weeks, and they won't be able to graze it all down to nothing. It'll actually get to where it's too much eventually, and there'll just be a bunch of dry vegetation in the wintertime and everything, which, like I said in the previous video, they'll actually eat that stuff up until about March or February or so, depending on different weather components and whatnot. So overall, everything's going well. I've noticed the boys are actually starting to gain a little bit more weight, so the vegetation that's in here is helping them to do that, and I still supplement them with enough grain to keep them maintained, but not enough for them to gain on. So when I see them gain, I know that it's just because the native vegetation is picking up a little bit. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to use those back 10 acres with all the mesquite pods and everything, but there's a good amount of mesquite in here as well. So once those girls are on over here, I'll be utilizing that a little bit better as well. But anyway, that is the update. We did have a winner for the t-shirt contest, so congratulations, Justin. He already received his t-shirt and is enjoying it, so that makes us feel good as well. But as I said, we'll try to do something for when we hit 500 subscribers. So if you guys have an idea for that, please drop a comment down in the comment section. I'm willing to review that. If you guys want to do more farm apparel or farm logo apparel, or if you want to do something else like a dozen eggs or something like that, hatching eggs, if you guys are interested in hatching out some of the barnyard mixes that we've got here, I could do that as well. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks for joining us. As always, God bless.